washing our hands regularly with clean water and soap, disinfecting frequently used surfaces in areas, coughing into a tissue or elbow, and strictly adhering to infection preventing controls measures in health facilities.
The whereabouts of the president has become a thing of concern to Nigerians. The most we know, President Buhari was flown out of the country and there were speculations that he may have contracted coronavirus. These speculations are not far-fetched, especially with the fact that Buhari's chief of staff, Abba Kyari, had contracted the horrible virus as well. In regards to his whereabouts, Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, took to social media to announce that the president of Nigeria was flown to Cuba. On the contrary, President Buhari gave the address to Nigerians from a place which most definitely looks like Aso Rock. And even more surprising are the pictures released today where the president was showing washing his hands in the presidential villa. Therefore, the bugging question is this: how can President Buhari be in Cuba and in Nigeria at the same time? This gives me no other explanation than to come to the conclusion that Nigerians should be careful of the news they hear and spread. This is so because, first of all, coming from Nnamdi Kanu, who is a staunch hater of the Buhari administration, he will hardly ever give positive information about the president. So how do we expect him to give a good report now? So guys, yes, the presidency released a picture of the president washing hands and telling Nigerians on how to take care of themselves. This campaign has been going on before now, so I think maybe the president just woke up, but it's okay if he's coming out to do that. But for the fact that Nnamdi Kanu said that, a lot of people were like coming out for the president to speak, to even get the address done, which was done on Sunday. It was a tug of war. He didn't really want to do that. I think out of pressure and what have you, the same people who have been crying out, oh, he has to address the nation, and which he did. So of course we'll be hearing conflicting messages and what have you, and that is what happens in a situation, in a place where information is not well equipped, is not really well dished out properly, even at the appropriate time. So it will leave a lot of speculations in place. So you wouldn't one wouldn't be surprised because of what has happened in the past, whether Nnamdi Kanu is correct or is not correct, but because of what has happened in the past and the position and the body language of this presidency and the government and even the Buhari himself, because he does not come out, he's not that friendly, he's not that a friendly type that that is friendly to the people. But it is only even during election time you see him from jumping from pillar to post. But in the recent that good governance is not there, because they've already left a lot of loopholes for people to be able to chip in, even in his family, everything you can just think of. So it's always push. So one wouldn't be surprised if all these speculations are coming here and there. And again, come to think of it, the issue of Abba Kyari, we learned that Abba Kyari has been in Lagos, or he has been in London. But later, we learned that he's still in Aso Rock or in Abuja, that he will be flown to Lagos on Sunday or Monday or so, which on Monday he was in Lagos, according to what we heard. But all of a sudden again, at least those who are supposed to know his whereabouts, or who are supposed to have a direct contact with him, the Lagos State government and the health minister, who is also in charge of this whole health issue and this coronavirus of a thing, would have been the best person to know his whereabouts, even if he's not going to be declaring or letting the public know the location of the chief of staff. At least there's a way would have said it, but he said he does not know his whereabouts, but they have been chatting on WhatsApp and he does not know his location. I don't know whether he's trying to be diplomatic. So, but at least for what we know, he does not know where that the man is, in Lagos or not. Even at that level, if he does not know, that means it sounds suspicious and it's questionable. Well, that being said, so a lot of all these things when happening, it always gives room for people to suggest what they want. If you don't give them an adequate information at the right time. Then people want to fix in their own information. And someone says, we are not worried of Buhari whereabouts. Buhari Pikin, so called Nigerians are even feeding up of all tactics of lies, and as you try harder to satisfy your paymaster in covering his mess, so you too messed on yourself. Only God that has the final say. And someone says, how did you know it was Buhari and not Jubri? How did you know it was Aso Rock, not Cuba, a slave who loves his chain? As some people still believe that, oh, it must be in Cuba. And even when the issue of the commissioner for Earth in Lagos said he does not know his whereabouts, people said, how will you know his whereabouts? People still believe that, oh, he must be in London. So because he's washing his evil hands, you concluded it's in Aso Rock. Did you see why Nigeria will continue to fail? Is washing hand basin a destination or map? You poster is ill in the upper room. If you say he was seen washing his hands in villa, was it live or old picture? Common sense is not common. How can they put a picture of him washing hand if not to cover up some secrets? A president that is not that kind of president started posting pictures of him washing hand. Abeg, think well. Of course, somebody who is not that kind of person, or really, it's somebody was saying this morning that this his media handler need to do more. They really need to do more, because to them, somebody say it's really petty. It's those people who are even really like, oh, Nnamdi Kanu should go and should go and sit down, should forget all this statement or all the submission here and there about the president. The same person was talking about that the handlers of the president are not even doing a good job, that all of these things are not needed. Some people are saying, oh, what is the big deal about it? Everybody is entitled to his opinion, but what I know is that if you always leave vacuum for information not to be properly given to the people always fixing something, because there must be something that they must want to they want to hold on to. So that is just the way it is. They really need to do better. Abba Kyari was said to be at Lagos Isolation Center, but now the Lagos State Minister of Health says that Abba Kyari was nowhere to be found. Which way, Nigeria? Okay. Someone says, did Abba Kyari tell you that he surrendered himself to the health commissioner? Is it impossible for him to go to a private hospital residence? Is that difficult for you? This is enough reason to show that both Kyari and Buhari are in Cuba. Like I said before, if we want to go back to the issue of Kyari going to Lagos, so that means that is to tell you that it's a discredit on their part as well. So no good hospital, because if you are not going to Lagos that has what it takes to deal with this issue of a coronavirus, or they have the facilities, if you are not going to that place, that means you are going to a private hospital in Lagos, then meaning there are no good hospitals. Why is it that we don't have a good hospitals? You would have stayed back in whether in Aso Rock or in Abuja, a national hospital. It further discredit them. If it's not going to be in Lagos that has all it takes to to combat with this coronavirus, then where you see, meaning that they will be going to private hospital. Then what happens to our national hospital? No, there is none. So the whole thing, because when things are not done in an orderly manner, people tend to believe themselves, they believe other people, because the government itself is not transparent. That is just the way I see it. So even if they are in Nigeria, they are in Lagos, they are in Abuja and what have you, because a lot of things had really happened that gives a lot of people that kind of mindset that they can't even trust the government. So they really need to do better. They need to do better if they are not hiding anything. And someone say, what is the proof that this is Aso Rock? Looks like a hotel suite for real. Someone say, you that is posting this, did you see your president broadcast on Sunday? What was that, a live broadcast? Have you asked where is he addressing from? How do that picture confirm Aso Rock? People ask questions. Someone say Nnamdi Kanu is 100% right. Nnamdi Kanu cannot lie. Yeah, okay. Yourself, you cannot even reason and compare. Did capture picture show that the date in which the picture was captured? If actually is in Aso Rock, why didn't he make a live broadcast? The picture you see, how do you know it's Aso Rock presidential villa? Please let us be reasonable and have good thinking, please. So guys, let us hear your opinion. You've heard a lot of people saying their own opinion concerning this, that picture does not depict whether the president is in Aso Rock or which day he took it. So that is what the government has, has caused, because they are not to be trusted, because they've done a lot of things, a lot of crooked movements that, they will continue to give you that sense that something is really fishy somewhere. So guys, let's hear your opinion in the comment section.